If you have questions about how the shaft in your golf club can impact your performance, you're like me. I don't really understand all of the technical nuances of this part of the game, but this guy does. Kim Braley from KBS. It's good to see you again. And what's the latest and greatest in the world of shaft technology?
Well, in terms of what we are doing, and it's not necessarily about shaft technology, but we have developed a driver shaft, which is a first for us. What we did was, in terms of the technology part, is we were able to take the EI, which is a measurement of stiffness along the length of the shaft, and we were able to incorporate the same, very similar EI to our driver shaft that we did with our KBS Tour shaft. The reason that we did that is our KBS Tour shaft this is all about fitting. The KBS Tour shaft is the one that fits the most people. It goes from 90 grams to 130 grams at every 5 gram increments. So in terms of fitting, it is really strong. And so this TD shaft, our first graphite driver shaft, is going to be the Tour of our system. Whenever we design a shaft, it's designed for a specific application. It's either to go a little bit higher or a little bit lower, spin a little bit more, spin a little bit less than the Tour.
Now, we of course have viewers from all different levels of handicap, right? So some are scratch, some are 25. And when you start talking about differences of 5 grams here and there, it can sometimes get lost in the overwhelming flood of information how much difference that can make. What does it matter if I'm 5, 10 grams one way or the other?
Generally, 5 grams is slightly less than a half a flex. 10 grams has always been generally considered to be a flex. From an R to an S, 10 grams has generally been the difference in weight of steel shafts anyway. And again, the 5 gram increments is a half a flex, and I feel that there's just as many people that are going to fall in between flexes than there are that's going to fall right in the middle of it. Again, I feel so deeply that there's people that fall everywhere, but there's just as many people that are falling in between than there are that are falling right solid in the middle. That's why we go at 5 gram increments.
Would the average consumer know the difference? If you didn't show them a label, if they had no idea, but they just went by feel, how much differential would there have to be before somebody would say, hey, now that's different?
Well, okay, that's a great question. I mean, some players can actually feel a gram or two. There are players that can feel that, and they're almost cursed. But but there are players that can feel that. But when you get into 5 grams, generally people can start feeling a half a flex. Generally speaking, there's certain players that just don't have a lot of feel and they just swing it. But they're still going to have optimum numbers. One shaft's going to fit them better than another. There's some shaft and there's somewhere in that matrix. There's the one that's going to, that will have the optimum spin, optimum launch, and also the angle of descent that you'd be looking for in order to play your best.
Well, I'm guessing that impressive roster of tour pros that you have playing KBS shafts can tell 1 or 2 grams one way or the other, but that's what they do for a living. It's a fascinating world in technology and in golf shafts. Kim, thanks so much.
Enjoy it. Thank you.